Safety Manager. From Zero to Expert by Dmitry Borovoy. What a Safety Manager does. Chapter 1. What a Safety Manager does. This chapter is about the profession itself, how it came about, what the person in this role actually handles day to day, and how being safety for your own company differs from safety for someone else's. By the time you finish reading, the terms will stop being scary and you'll have a map of what we're going to cover over the next 16 chapters. 1.1. Where the safety manager came from in the first place. It's a young profession. In the US, it took shape in the 1990s, and it didn't appear because somebody wanted to invent a new job title. It appeared because people were dying on the roads. In the 80s and 90s, the American economy took off. Consumption was growing, stores needed deliveries, and tens of thousands of new trucking companies came onto the roads. Right behind them came a wave of fatal crashes involving commercial trucks. The reason was simple. People were opening transportation businesses with no understanding of the industry. Paperwork wasn't kept, drivers weren't screened, nobody checked the mechanical condition of the trucks, and a disqualified driver could calmly climb behind the wheel and haul 40 tons down the interstate. The outcome was predictable: crashes, lawsuits, bodies, bankruptcies. The government looked at this and decided the market wasn't going to fix itself. They created a federal oversight agency, FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And inside it, a program called CSA, Compliance, Safety, Accountability. CSA is a tracking system that watches every carrier, from the day you register until the day you leave the industry. The 4 channels through which FMCSA sees your company. 1. Safety audits. Either they come to your office, on-site, or you send documents in response to a request, off-site. They look at how your record-keeping is run. 2. Roadside inspections. The truck gets stopped at a scale house, a state line, or on the road. They check the CDL, medical card, ELD, hours of service, and mechanical condition. 3. Investigations. When FMCSA has specific suspicions or something serious has happened. These also come in on-site and off-site flavors. 4. Crash reports. Written up by state police and local agencies after every crash involving a commercial truck. What counts is the data from the last 24 months. All of this flows into one database, SMS, Safety Measurement System. We'll break it down in detail in Chapter 3. For now, the main thing to grasp: every company has 7 safety scores. The underlying inspection and violation data is public. The percentile scores themselves you see with DOT plus PIN, and they shift after every inspection and every incident. The first 18 months. A special regime. After you get your USDOT and MC authority, the company lives for its first 18 months in new entrant status. Newcomer. You have a temporary operating license, and during that whole time, FMCSA keeps you under a separate program, the New Entrant Safety Assurance Program. Within your first 12 months of operations, you're required to pass a safety audit. The monitoring itself runs the full 18 months, and avoid picking up any serious violations. Pass it, and you get permanent operating authority. After that, it's the normal CSA regime, same as everyone else. Pause. If you just opened your company, the thought ringing in your head right now is, a year and a half under a microscope, and I still don't even know what I'm doing. Stop that thought. The New Entrant Safety Audit is passed by almost everyone who does 3 things. 1. Keeps the paperwork. Company file, driver file, unit file, chapters 4, 5, 6. 2. Follows HOS. Driver doesn't work past the limit, chapter 7. 3. Doesn't miss deadlines, IFTA, insurance, registrations, chapters 8, 10. This isn't talent and it isn't luck. It's discipline. We'll build it chapter by chapter. Keep going. 1.2. The 6 zones a safety manager owns. The exact task list shifts from company to company, but the profession always stands on 6 pillars. Zone 1. Hiring the driver. Pre-employment screening. Before a driver starts one of your trucks for the first time, The safety manager has to verify the CDL, class, endorsements, status, not revoked, not suspended. Pull the MVR, motor vehicle record, driving history for the last 3 years. Open a PSP, pre-employment screening program, the FMCSA portal that shows crashes for the last 5 years and roadside inspections for the last 3. Check the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, the federal database of failed drug tests. We cover this in Chapter 9. Run a pre-employment drug test. Send a safety performance history records request to previous employers. Chapter 5. Have the driver sign the policy packet, Drug and Alcohol Safety Policy. If you see a string of serious violations or crashes in a driver's history, that's a decision you're making with your eyes open. Take a bad driver, and you've gifted your company a CSA hit that will drag on for years. Nobody's going to remember later that we needed a driver right now. Zone 2. Documents the driver carries. Safety is responsible for making sure the driver has a complete set in the cab and nothing is expired. CDL, medical card, DOT medical certificate, logbook, ELD, bill of lading for every load, insurance certificate, registration, truck and trailer, IFTA license, IRP, international registration plan, apportioned registration. An expired document equals a fine for the driver and for the company, so safety doesn't remind on the last day. Safety runs a deadline calendar and handles things 30 to 60 days before the date. Zone 3. Taxes, fees, registrations. IFTA, International Fuel Tax Agreement, every quarter, Chapter 8. UCR, Unified Carrier Registration, once a year. HVUT, Form 2290, Heavy Vehicle Use Tax, once a year. State permits, where required. NYHUT, KY Weight Distance, NMCT, OR. MCS 150 Biennial Update, once every 2 years. Miss a deadline and the fine lands automatically. Sometimes the truck's registration gets frozen and it's parked. Zone 4. Equipment. Annual DOT inspection on every truck and every trailer. DVIR. Driver Vehicle Inspection Report. Driver fills it out before and after the shift. Repair log and scheduled maintenance. Coordination with mechanics. Zone 5. Incidents. Crashes, Chapter 15. Claims, Chapter 16. Tickets, Chapter 13. Data queue, Chapter 14. Zone 6. Regulators. Preparing for and surviving the safety audit and compliance review. Working with DOT inspectors on site, Chapter 12. Corrective action plan if your rating drops, Chapter 17. What this looks like in the real world. I'll say something that sounds loud, but it's true. The difference between a company that grew and a company that shut down in its first year is usually safety. Not loads, not rates, not drivers. Whoever was keeping the paperwork and watching CSA. Small carriers in the U.S. shut down in waves, not because there's nothing to haul. They shut down because authority gets frozen after a bad audit. And while they're sorting it out, the money runs out. The other direction works too. A company already carrying problems can be pulled back to satisfactory in a year by a competent safety manager. I've seen it many times. 1.3. Safety inside your own company versus safety for someone else. For owners, Track A, owner-operator. If you have 1 to 3 trucks, the safety function is usually carried by the owner. It works, under one condition. You're disciplined and ready to give the paperwork 2 to 4 hours a week, every week, no exceptions. A typical scenario I see constantly. Ivan opens a company. For the first 2 months he runs everything himself, fills out files, tracks deadlines. Then the season starts. Loads are heavy. Ivan is either driving himself or hunting freight. Paperwork gets pushed to the weekend. The weekend is family. 4 months later, there's a hole in the driver file, a missed quarterly IFTA, no drug and alcohol program running. The safety audit shows up, and everything surfaces. Realistic split for an owner with 1 to 3 trucks, do the base yourself. MCS 150, insurance, registrations, a simple driver file. Hand off daily CSA monitoring, the drug and alcohol program, and responses to DOT inspections to an outside safety. That's $189 per month, and it saves you from the burnout that kills new carriers more often than fines do. For staff safety managers, Track B, employed safety. If safety is your profession and you work for other people's companies, you'll be one of two things. In-house, on staff. A company with a fleet of 8+ trucks keeps you on by yourself, usually remote. Rate $2,000 to $4,500 per month. Outsource, you're on a team, like Trucker Navi. The company serves dozens of carriers in parallel. Each one gets a slice of your time. The upside is there are colleagues next to you, backup when you take vacation or get sick, and someone to bounce a tough case off. This is usually more stable and calmer than sitting alone inside somebody else's company. The key difference between an owner safety and an employed safety. The employed one has one job. Don't let the company slip into conditional. The owner safety has their head occupied with loads, finances, drivers, mechanics. So the employed safety is almost always more effective on compliance. It's not about intelligence, it's about focus. 1. The safety manager profession appeared in the U.S. in the 1990s because of a rise in deaths on the road involving commercial trucks. 2. FMCSA sees your company through 4 channels: audits, roadside inspections, investigations, crash reports for the last 24 months. 3. For the first 18 months after you get MC.DOT, you're a new entrant. The safety audit comes within the first 12 months. Pass it, and you get permanent authority. 4. 6 zones of safety: driver hiring, documents on the road, taxes and fees, equipment, incidents, regulators. 5. 2 tracks: for owners, owner safety, doable for 1 to 3 trucks, but you burn out fast. Or for staff safety managers, employed safety, in-house or outsource. You've got this if you can explain to someone off the street in 2 minutes what a safety manager does. You understand what FMCSA is and why it exists. You've locked in the acronyms CSA and SMS. Details come in Chapter 3. You know what a new entrant safety audit is and when it happens. You can list the 6 zones of safety responsibility. You've decided on your track, for owners or for staff safety managers. Is it worth carrying the safety function yourself? With 1 to 3 trucks, you can carry it. But during the season, when the loads come in waves, safety is the first thing to collapse. That's not weakness, that's physics. Your day has a finite number of hours. A sensible split. You keep MCS 150, UCR, insurance, the things that are done rarely and need your personal data. And daily CSA monitoring, the drug and alcohol program, DOT audit prep, you hand to people who do that as their main job. Trucker Navi covers this in the Safety Compliance Starter Package, $189 a month. Inside, DQ files, drug and alcohol program, CSA monitoring, DOT audit prep. Fleet up to 3 trucks. For 4 to 8 trucks, safety compliance growth, $349 a month, $43 per truck. This adds vehicle maintenance, DVIR, and driver training. 315-871-0833. WhatsApp, +1 929 347 4410. TruckerNavi.com. That was a chapter from Safety Manager from Zero to Expert by Dmitry Borovoy, founder of Trucker Navi. The full book is on Amazon. The companion page is at truckernavi.com/en/book.